What's going on, guys? RoadNut44 back with you again here on a very starry night in Texas in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, we got a full moon out, which is going to help us a lot tonight because we're doing something different. After a big hiatus, I have jumped headfirst back into FSEconomy. Well, maybe I shouldn't really say headfirst, but I've started doing some flights and I purchased this 208 Caravan on FSE. And I've been doing a couple flights with today. I just got it today. I think I don't know, maybe a half dozen flights in. And I thought, got a nice clear night out tonight. Why don't we come out here and we'll do a little short night flight out to one of the airstrips and allow you guys to kind of follow along with one of the FSE flights. So how about that? Now, I should probably get ForeFlight rolling here so you guys can see what's going on. So as we can see in ForeFlight here, we're at the Fort Worth Alliance Airport in Fort Worth, Texas, and we're going to be heading 55 nautical miles up to the northeast to 48 Tango X-Ray, which is Tri-County Aerodrome. It looks like they may do some parachuting here because there's actually an airspace around it dedicated to parajumping from ground to 14.5, as we can see there on the side of the airspace. Now, I don't have the sectional chart pulled up on ForeFlight tonight. I just have the aeronautical overlay with the base map, just because it's a little cleaner and it's a little darker, which makes it easier for night vision. But anyways, enough rambling on. We should probably get out of drone mode before we jump in the cockpit. But let's get inside. Now, we're going to start this thing up. This is, like I said, I've only done a couple flights in this, and obviously I've only started up twice beforehand here. Let's get rid of the yoke. So don't ride me too hard on the procedures. I'm following the INSUM checklist, which I have pulled up here, and it is very abridged. There's only 4 tabs here, and there's not a lot of items per tab. So yeah, that's what I'm going off of. Let's see, Alt L brings up our flashlight. We're going to go up to the top here and turn our fuel on. Then over here, we're going to say checklist because I don't remember. Engine ignition selectors are on norm, which I believe they are already. Nope, they were not. Wait. Ignition norm. Ignition is on norm. That's boost pump. Power lever is down at idle. Prop RPM, set the max RPM. Okay, battery switch comes on. Beacon is up here. Where's that? Right hand side. That comes on. Avionics number 1 comes on. That'll get our main display rolling here. Okay, fuel boost. That comes to on. Okay, and starter goes to on, or in this case, start. Ignition's on norm. Starter, say fuel condition, is already on low idle. And next step after that is just to turn the starter off. Oh, I guess we're gonna have to do this by sound, huh? 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Yeah, sounds good to me. Should be running. That goes off. Engine's still running. Fuel boost pump comes back to norm. And avionics bus number 2 comes on. Yeah, I forgot I had, before or after my last flight, I had switched out my G1000 from the vanilla G1000 to the G1000 NXI again. And the vanilla G1000 has all the engine data here on the left-hand side of the main display. The NXI does not, or if it does, I don't know how to turn it on. Oh yeah, also, with that said, I'm using a different G1000. So, yeah, hopefully it's relatively the same. Because it's definitely not the same one I used last time. Alright, we are running. NG looks good. ITT is fine. Work is fine. Let's see, let's set up CDI. It was already on GPS. PDF, winds, go for option 2, back, that, set the altitude on. Alright, and let's see here. So we are at Kilo Alpha Foxtrot Whiskey, and we're going to go direct to, what is 48 Tango X-Ray. Enter, enter. And it doesn't show up on the map. That's okay. We got ForeFlight. We can look on ForeFlight. The only important thing is, did it load it in our GPS? And our track looks like it updated. So we will find out here in a moment, I guess. If not, I guess we may be using the heading bug tonight. Alright. Let's go ahead and get our taxi lights on. Go ahead and flip on our cabin lights, which is just for the back here. Not going to destroy our night vision up here. Flip that switch up on accident. No smoking, and fasten seatbelt signs come on. We'll go ahead and put our nav lights on and our strobe lights on and taxi lights. Alright, parking brake comes off, and we got a very short taxi to the runway, so I'm going to go ahead and put our idle up on high idle. Freaking rampies all over the dang place here. Leave it to the rampies to always be in the way of the freaking airplane. Alright, this is the part where I start telling myself, do not forget to start the flight. Hey, don't forget to start the flight. Start the flight. Don't forget to start it. Don't forget to start the flight, dumbass. Okay. Now that that's out of the way, let's not forget to start the flight. It's the worst feeling ever, is getting to your destination and realizing you forgot to start the flight. That's exactly why I'm going right now. You guessed it. To start the flight. Action. Start flight. Jesus, we've already been recording for 15 minutes at this point. Let's get this show on the road before I have to freaking edit out more. Alright, so all of our switches are good. We'll go ahead and turn our taxi light off. That leaves our landing lights on. Strobes, navs, beacons. All cabin lights are on. All this is good. Prop is full forward. Condition lever is full forward. Ours is idle. Go ahead and trim up a little bit. Altimeter set. Let's go ahead and just real quick, we'll say altitude select 3,500. A very slow 3,500. 3,500, and then we'll say vertical speed up at 1,000 feet a minute. And then we're going to use nav mode. So we got that all punched in, so autopilot is ready to go. And I'm going to verify altimeter is set to altitude. Alright. No traffic on approach to the right. No traffic to the left. let's get out there. Let's get rolling. Flaps 1. I guess I can turn my flashlight off for now so I don't have that glare on the windscreen. Alright, heels down to the floor. Let's go. And we lift off all nice and gentle there. Do a nice and easy climb out. Keep a reference on ForeFlight here just to make sure I know where I'm going. Okay, let's get rid of the flaps, clean her up, start building some airspeed. Is that middle marker? I'm not sure. It's a beepy thing and it's flashing on my main display. There's middle. Or M. Well, I am. Go ahead and turn out here. Turn on course. And I'm going to kind of hand fly it here for a few moments just to get us closer on to our track. And then we'll switch over to autopilot mode and we'll let it fly for the majority of the trip. Some airplanes out tonight. Alright, let's see what the autopilot wants to do. So let's say we are on nav, we got our altitude set, we already blew past, blew through 3,500, so let's go ahead and get a little closer to that altitude. And since we did that, learn how to use the dang avionics. Come on now, there we go. Not doing very good tonight. Let's blame it on fatigue. Alright, autopilot. Let's see what it does. And my did it freaking go in, or is it just broke? It may just be broke. Flight plan. Direct to. En route. Direct to. Enter. Enter. Well, it is most definitely not flying it, so I guess GPS navigation on the G1000NXI is currently broke. Alright, well, we'll just say heading something like that for now. Heading mode, nav off. And we'll get our vertical speed down here. Say 500 feet a minute. We'll get back down to 3,500 is what we need to cruise at since we are going to the east. Got to be an odd altitude plus 500. And we need to come to the left a little bit more, so we'll say 10 degrees to the left. Go ahead and get our speed pulled back, or torque pulled back a little bit here. I still haven't really figured out what I should cruise at in this 208 yet. Like I said, it's been since I've actually sat down and like flown a 208. It has probably been at least 2.5 years. But as far as just hopping in and going, not really giving a crap about anything, you know, I've done that fairly recent. But yeah, actually sitting down and flying it by the books and caring about cruise speed and cruise power performance, all that, it's been a while. So yeah, if any of you guys that are watching this have fly the Caravan, let me know down below in the comments what you normally cruise at for your torque and prop RPM and all that. So we're gonna bring it the prop back to about 1750 RPMs. I have to read the number. Not exactly, but very close to that. That's close enough. Alright, and we are coming back up on our line here, as we can see on ForeFlight. So let's go ahead and say 10 degrees to the right now. Should bring us hopefully back on track, or very close to it. It looks like it's lining up pretty good. And yes, I was just counting because I can't see the heading number that well here when I'm back in the standard view position. I didn't feel like scrolling in. So when in doubt, I guess count it out. Alright, so we're pretty much in cruise now. We're going to stay at 3,500 for the majority of the flight. We got 37 nautical miles to our destination, approximately 13 minutes ETE. Doing 173 knots across the ground and indicating 162 with, it looks like, about a 2 knot quartering tailwind. This is Louisville Lake here up the right-hand side. I know nothing about it, other than that's what it says on ForeFlight. But yeah, got a pretty nice little view of Dallas-Fort Worth area here. Lots of lights out there stretching out quite a ways. There's another airplane up there. No idea what he is. I don't have tags turned on. Let's see if we can see anybody else out tonight. Nobody out that direction. I think what I'm gonna do here is, since we got a few minutes to kill here, we'll give you guys a short little time lapse just to the edge of the city, and yeah, sit back, relax, enjoy the evening lights, enjoy the tunes, and we'll be back with you very shortly here. Alright, well I hope you guys enjoyed that little time lapse. I know I did. Kind of actually fallen asleep here. This probably wasn't the brightest idea to do this. Let's see, what time is it? It is 10:55 p.m. And I'm recording a video. How about that? Alright, get our feet back on the rudder pedals here. Let's get ready. We are just shy of 5 minutes before we are going to be arriving at the airport. We drifted off course a little bit here, so let's just correct our heading over. Let's say like kind of 4 degrees. It's not going to make that much of a difference here in a minute, as we're going to be going to manual control in a few moments. Let's do a quick little check here. So Alt-L to get our flashlight back on. And we'll just look over all our switches. Landing lights, I kept those on the whole time. Nav strobes, beacons. Internal lights are all on. Everything looks good. Temperatures, pressures, all look good. Oh, I forgot to put my yoke back on. And let's get rid of that glare once again. And we need to start looking out for the airport. I'm going to bring it, let's say another 4 degrees to the right. So we're looking more directly ahead at the airport. And I don't know if this airport has a beacon or not. So I'm looking for a beacon out pretty much kind of dead ahead and to the left a little. We're about 10 nautical miles out now, so we should be coming into range very soon if there is a light. If we aren't already within range and there's not just a light. Could go either direction. I don't know. We'll find out in a moment. All I gotta say is I hope there are runway lights, or else this is going to be very interesting. I did try to pick a paved runway for this flight, just so that I would be sure that it would have a good chance of having runway lights and all that. My first pick was a grass runway, and I figured that wasn't going to probably go over too well. But this is a concrete runway, 4,500 feet by 150 wide, concrete with turf, and edge unknown intensity. Right then. So not a lot of information on this airport. But we should be coming up to it fairly shortly here. I mean, it is in the database. Somebody else out there. Actually, a couple more. There's one over to the left. Somebody flying pretty close. And there's one over to the right. It's coming up about the mid-divider on the panel there, or the windscreen. Somebody else up real high out there flying the night. You know, I think this may be the first actual like true night flight I've ever done in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Usually I'm VFR during the day. Just because I'm usually flying up in Alaska and, well, you know, nighttime flying, it can be done up there, but it's not, I don't know, I'm not as comfortable doing night flying in Alaska. There's a lot of high things that you can hit. But out here in Texas, it's mostly all flatland. So as long as I don't get too low, I should be fine. Then the only other thing I have to worry about is birds and other airplanes. Well, and any other thing that flies through up there, but luckily most of that's not simulated. Alright. So this runway pretty much runs, let's see, of course it doesn't have a chart. Should have known that. We were pretty close. We were 1.6 nautical miles out, and I do not see the runway. So I tell you what, we're going to go to manual, and runway should be right here somewhere. We're going past it. Do you guys see a runway? 'Cause I sure don't. Okay, we went past it. Well, that's not a good sign. If we went past the airport and I don't see any thing that looks like runway lights. Luckily, we got plenty of fuel to play around with here. The only thing that's hurting is my virtual wallet a little bit, but I see plenty of farm fields. Oh, what's that right there? There it is. Okay, so there are no runway lights. There do not appear to be, at least, from where we're at right now. But luckily, it's got some pretty nice defining lights along the edge there of the road. So we'll just kind of follow this road over here. Start pulling the power back. Because we need to slow down. So luckily, we got clear skies and a full moon out tonight. So that's going to make landing a lot easier. Depth perception is going to be a little iffy, but I think we got this. I've done worse. Alright. Keep our power pull back. Let's go ahead and get our prop back full forward. And man, we need to play with trim. Trim this thing up. Alright, there's the runway. Ooh, I was a little early on the flaps. I guess I should have paid attention. Oh well. This plane's a workhorse, it can take it. Alright, there's the runway over there. Still got the runway. We'll start our round out right up here. Go ahead and start a lazy turn in. Get our second notch of flaps, which, if I remember right, let's see here, click, click, click. Yep, it is full flaps in this aircraft, so 2 notches of flaps. I actually do not remember the 208EX only having 2 notches of flaps, but maybe it does. Maybe I just don't remember. It has been like 2 years or longer, so. Alright, runway's still in sight. It's a nice bright runway. Concrete, so I'm going to keep her kind of slow here, but not too slow. She's a narrow runway too. A little bit of a crosswind, not bad. She's a very, very narrow runway, damn. Drifting off a little. Let's get that corrected. And I am not going to be using any reverse tonight because, well, after Sim Update 7, the reverse key is currently not working. But luckily, we do not need it. Alright, I think there's another ramp up here, so we're going to go ahead and taxi ahead as opposed to going back. Worst comes to worst, we may just park over here by these houses. I know the main ramp is back there where we landed at though, but I just want to see. Oh, look at that. Oh, that may just be flickering. I don't know. Whoop, we're running off the runway. That's okay. It's a grass runway. Grass overrun. Let's stop here for a second. I guess that's a feature I've never noticed that. Probably because I never fly at night, but that's kind of cool. It's flashing blue inside like somebody's watching TV or something. That's kind of a cool little effect to throw in. Alright, so obviously there's no ramp down here. So let's get turned around and we'll go over here and we'll park by these houses. No, actually, we got some time. Let's do a little bit of a fast taxi down to the runway here. And we'll park by the main ramp. We probably, let's try to sneak over here to the left hand side. I do not want to hit that gas pump because I don't want it to trigger a fill up and FSE kicks the flight. That happened way too much to me in FSX. I don't know if it would be the same in Microsoft Flight Simulator or not. But we got a nice little ramp over here, so we'll spin around. Get our parking brake set and end the flight. Flight logged. There we go. Alright, let's get this thing shut down. Oh, L. I have no proper shutdown checklist to go by, so I just kind of ballpark it. Bring that all the way back. Bring that to low idle. Let it stabilize while I mess with my lights here. So landing lights come off. Nav and strobe comes off. We can turn the seatbelt signs and the cabin lights off. We'll leave the beacon on. At least we know if our battery's on or not. Go ahead and turn avionics number 2 off. Shoot. Actually, let's do opposite. So checklist calls for avionics bus number 1. You turn that one on first and you leave 2 off on startup. But I don't have any engine data on that, so let's leave 2 on. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. That way we at least have engine data, and we can kind of watch. Okay, that's good, and cut off. And I'm kind of following the Porter checklist a little bit here. Whereas once our NG gets low, we'll go ahead and go over here. And we'll switch off. Where is it? Fuel boost to off. And then we can say avionics bus 2 off. Battery off. Everything shut off. Lights are off. Beacons still on. We can go ahead and flip that off. It doesn't really matter. It's not like it's going to stay on. I would leave that on in a normal airplane because it would stay on, but since the sun's going to turn it off anyways, it doesn't really matter. Well, there we have it. Cold and dark once again. Get the flashlight off. I want you to listen to that. We got some crickets out there chirping, welcoming us back into the airport. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It is getting late, so I'm going to get off here and go to bed, but before I do that, if you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like on the like button down below. Leave a comment, and yeah, if you like this content, if you want me to continue making content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Show me some love down there. Let's get up to 500 subscribers, our first kind of little mark there, or our first little goal, I should say. And yeah. I gotta go to bed because these crickets are putting me to sleep. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for following along on this flight. There will be more to come. And as always, Roadnut 44, over and out.